Hey y'all, today is Sunday, April 5th. It is 10:59 a.m. My bird clock is about to go off. I don't know if you'll be hearing that. Probably, because this mic doesn't cancel out sound like Discord does or like my phone calls do. So, also the whirring sound you can hear is my robot vacuum. It is, in fact, vacuuming my floors. So I'm going to, as quickly as I possibly can, recap this week. This week was productive, but not busy. It was busy, but not... I don't know. I don't really know what this week was. It was busy, but I didn't have a whole lot to do. I'm pretty much my own housewife, though, so I do stuff all the time, but it seems like I'm not doing much. So, on Monday, March 30th, I completed my week 13 leadership homework. I went to my success coaching appointment. And I believe I went to one of my support group meetings. And then on Tuesday, I finished my public speaking chapter 7 quiz and the discussion post, except for the replies, but that's because I'm about 2 weeks ahead. So there's no other person sending out a reply for me to respond to. So I haven't done the replies yet, but that's because I'm 2 weeks ahead. So nobody else is there yet, because they're doing their coursework at a standard pace. And I'm not saying that to dog on anybody. I don't think I'm better than anybody. I think I'm so irresponsible that I had to put myself 2 weeks ahead because of my chronic health. And I don't think that people with chronic health issues are irresponsible. I just think that I am, because I will not prioritize my coursework if I don't feel good. I will absolutely just turn in late work. And I'm trying to stop that, and my solution was working ahead so that I can just have a week off if I need it. However, that is a byproduct of my irresponsibility. Anyway, I haven't done the responses yet, but I need to start, in a couple weeks, I need to start liking it. Or honestly, frankly, I might just forfeit those points. It's the lesser part of the grade. The discussion posts are 15 points, and the responses are 5 points, so I don't really care about losing 5 out of 15 points. You know what I mean? Why should I care about that? I cleaned on Tuesday. I don't remember to what extent I cleaned, but I do remember cleaning. I think I had gotten a few things in. I think it was a grocery order. I don't remember exactly what I got, but I do remember getting a grocery order and being like, damn, I should have waited for tomorrow, because my healthy benefits card that I get through Humana, which kind of works like a food stamp card, but it's through the insurance rather than food stamps. And you can use it to buy pet food or food from Walmart. I think specifically Walmart is where you can use that card. And you can get over-the-counter stuff like Advil or like blood pressure monitors or pet food, or you can pay a bill with it, like an electric bill or your phone bill. I usually just use it to get extra groceries, like my pantry stuff from Walmart that I really like, that specifically I can only find at Walmart. So I was like, damn, I should have held this off for Wednesday, because tomorrow's the 1st, I could have gotten my Walmart order. And that couldn't work because I had so much to do on Wednesday. I had therapy from 1 to 2 p.m. I had health coaching. I had health coaching from 4 to 4:30, and then my speech presentation was at 6, but I wasn't feeling well, and somebody else was doing it on Thursday, so I opted for Thursday. Thursday was the outreach committee meeting, which, boy howdy, that was not a fun time. So, I guess just to get into the outreach committee meeting. So, the chair had to leave about 30 minutes early, but she had told me that a few days prior, so I had already known that I was going to step in when she left, because that is my job as the co-chair, is to step in when the chair cannot be present, and to support the chair by doing things that they're not able to do for whatever reason that may be. So, for example, the duties of the chair is to create the agenda, send out / edit the minutes if necessary, if somebody else took the minutes, to edit the minutes, to reflect the meeting properly, and then send them out to everybody, to manage the email, and to run / host the meetings and kind of keep things on track, stuff like that. That is like the job of the chair, and a lot of that does get delegated to me because I'm the co-chair, and because the chair is employed and has a life outside of everything. I don't. I stay home all day. I don't work. So I don't mind taking on a lot of that stuff. So, for example, I make the agendas, I edit and distribute the minutes, I send out the Google Calendar invites, I coordinate the next meeting time and day, I send out emails if somebody emails me, I keep track of and keep up with the email, stuff like that. It's kind of like the job of a secretary, but it's not because we're the co-chair, but whatever. Anyway, so the meeting, we get there, it's me, the chair, and our secretary. Which, fun fact, a secretary at this organization is pretty much just a note taker. They're misusing the word, similar to how they misuse other words. And we all three get there. Everything's great and fine. It's just us three, so we eventually decide to start the meeting, regardless of people being there or not, other than the secretary. So we start going over everything. We start just running the meeting as usual. So we get to the part where we're going over the minutes from the last meeting, and I'm going over this part because I wrote them and because I edited them and distributed them. So I was like, I don't see why I shouldn't read these. So I read them, and I get to the part where I had added an addendum because the secretary hadn't taken notes that would be helpful for somebody if they weren't present. Like, they were fine in general. Like, they were fine how they were. But, Andy, come on, baby. I'm sorry the vacuum is scaring you. You poor thing. Like, they were fine if everybody had showed up to the meeting, but not everybody did, and not everybody does. So I had added an additional explanation. I didn't take anything out of what she said. I just added an additional, hey, here's a little bit more in depth what we talked about, why we came to this decision, what the purpose of this is, and what we're going to do instead of Robert's rules, because we don't think it's appropriate. So I just added that. I moved a couple things around because I realized that the agenda was a little cluttered because there were some things that were in two places at the same time. So she would have to go in and edit them in both places instead of just having it in one place. And then there were just some things that didn't really make sense in terms of importance. So I organized things to be in the level of importance. So the more important things we talk about first, and then as we go down the list, they're less important to talk about. They're still important to talk about at the meeting, but it's more so, hey, if we don't have enough time to talk about this thing, that's fine because we talked about these more important things first. Because we only have an hour every 2 weeks, so it's not like we don't have a ton of time. So the chair's here. She's there for 30 minutes and she leaves at 4:30 like she said she would. And so I've taken over. Nothing really happened. One other person joined about 5 or 10 minutes before the chair left. So I'm answering this person's questions. I'm explaining things to them. And the secretary decides to step down. And the secretary's reasoning was that she felt like she wasn't helping. She felt like she was messing up more than helping. I'm looking at the email she had sent. And then that she doesn't know the right place to put things to format the minutes in a nice way. And I'm not going to read the full email. I know I have in the past, but this is a resignation thing. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings about this, but my primary thought and feeling is that I wish there had been more communication, because we had been running the outreach committee this way since she joined, and I just think it's very sudden that now she has an issue with how things are being run, and it makes me believe that there are other reasons for her deciding to leave. I will keep my speculations private. However, I feel like there's more there than what is being said. And I just think it really sucks because we have made a lot of accommodations to make things work for our secretary. We were running at a time that didn't quite work for the chair, which is why she had to leave 30 minutes early at this meeting, because that time doesn't really work for her. She's actively at work during that time. But we decided to keep it because we wanted to keep our secretary, because she had told us 2 meetings prior, by the way, that if we change the time to the time that would be more preferable for the chair, that she would no longer be our secretary. So we said, okay, well, we value you and we want you, so we're going to keep the time as is and just deal with it. And so I just think it's a little bit ridiculous. But what can you do? I'm not going to beg the secretary to stay. we have figured out a solution for the moment. The chair is going to take live minutes, and I will edit them as necessary, as I always do, have and done. My baby. Because that is the job of a co-chair, is to edit them so that they are good for people outside of the meeting. So anyway, that was that meeting. And she resigned at the meeting and then immediately left, so I don't even know if she's going to do the other things that she had committed to, like being the chair of one of the subcommittees, and if she's going to even continue coming to meetings. By the time you guys see this video, I'll know by then, but yeah, it's very frustrating. I'm not going to get into every single thought that I have about it simply because I don't think it's appropriate, but I do think that, it's a part of my life. This is something that is happening in my life. And considering I'm not naming the organization, the names of these people, I'm not bad talking anybody, I don't see why I can't talk about it, It is simply a part of my life that I'm experiencing. Hi, pretty boy. You're so cute. And you're so less crusty today than normal. Anyway, so I had that meeting. It went fine, but I was really frustrated over the chair, or over the secretary leaving. Especially because when she mentioned that a lot of the secretary's duties are things that I'm doing. So like the email reminders, managing the email, preparing agendas, writing the minutes, etc. If this had been a conversation, we would have been able to say, hey, well, that's not a secretary at this organization. This organization, their version of a secretary is a note taker. Those are the jobs of a chair/co-chair. And we had been running it this way the entire time. It's not like and even when I'm pretty sure even when we first voted her in, she had asked what the duties were, and I said pretty much just note taking. Like, you're going to take notes during the meeting. So she knew what she was getting into. I'm pretty sure she asked like what the duties were, and I was like taking notes during the meeting. And she didn't have a problem then, but now she has a problem. That's why I think it's something else, but I'm not going to speculate. Anyway, so the meeting was fine. I was very upset all night. I was very frustrated about that whole thing. I called the chair because all of this happened right after she left. So I called the chair at like 10 o'clock because she had a D&D campaign she was going to. So I called her and we talked about what had happened. Tried to come up with a couple solutions, discussed other options. She say that she does finally understand why I left the outreach committee. She said that she gets it, and I was like, yeah, it sucks it out of you. Like, it is not for the weak. And so Friday, I finished my week 14 stuff. I was supposed to have a THC delivery, but I got a text the day before saying that, on Thursday, saying that they couldn't make my delivery, but that they'd give me like 25% off my next order or something as a thank you or whatever for being patient. And so I called them on Friday just to make sure, because they said, we can't complete your delivery today, on Thursday. And I was like, okay, well, my delivery's on Friday. So, I was like, so what's happening? And there wasn't they don't have a delivery date on the website, which I think is crazy. Like, you select your delivery date when you order it, but then you don't actually see the date. Like, you have to mark it down right after you do it, or if you forget it, you're just screwed. So there wasn't like an updated delivery date anywhere, so I had to call them and be like, when are we delivering? And they said on the 7th, so that's going to be Tuesday. I don't really think I did that much else on Friday. I wish I could access my to-do list stuff, but oh well. Saturday, which was yesterday, I cleaned the apartment. Not a whole lot, but I did, I think I got a grocery delivery on Friday, and I ended up having to mop and stuff, which is why yesterday wasn't too much. At Friday I got more groceries. I got something I think it was like a combination of groceries and also an Amazon delivery. I had bought that cat litter. I don't know if I talked about it. I know I talked about getting a litter robot, but I decided against that. And I got like a specific litter trash can so that like it has a bunch of ways to keep it airtight. And so like you can scoop the litter, dump it in there. It has its own special trash bags, and it like has a way to shut off the smell, like something to close off the smell so you don't smell it. I put that together, but I didn't put it in the bedroom. I just put it together. And it's because I don't like having to like drag my trash can into the bedroom every single time. So I did get that, and I got a couple other things, but I don't remember what. I think I got the cat food because I had bought cat food on Amazon because there was a couple brands that I just couldn't buy anywhere else. And then I got a couple bags from Walmart a couple days prior. And it was like nice cat food brands because I want to try out some different grain-free options for them because the grain-free options that I've been giving them, they don't like. So I bought like 4 different types of grain-free cat food. And I bought a bunch of wet food too so that I could let them try different kinds and see which ones they like. And all of that got here on Friday, so I did have to do some cleaning, like I did mopping and stuff on Friday, but then I did my actual cleaning on Saturday yesterday, where I took out my trash. And no, I took out my trash on Friday, so I didn't take out my trash yesterday. I'm trying to remember what I did because I'm looking around and my apartment is certainly still dirty. Like I saw water bottles everywhere, trash everywhere, dishes in the sink, counters covered when they shouldn't be. I did laundry yesterday, and I know I did a lot of stuff yesterday. I finished my Earth Science Lab chapter 18 through 21, through 20 yesterday. So I did 4 chapters of homework yesterday. I went to my therapy appointment. I signed up for summer and fall classes. For summer term, I signed up for World Dance and Music Appreciation. Both of those are term A classes, but they are created to be specific term classes. So they shouldn't be too hard. And then, if I'm remembering right, for fall, I signed up for astronomy and I signed up for meteorology. So I'm very excited about those. I wanted to do, I think those two, World Dance and Music Appreciation, I think they count towards my electives. Though, funnily enough, despite me taking, and like my major being astronomy and meteorology apparently don't go towards my degree, so I think that's fucking nuts. But I kind of don't care. That's not my business, if I'm gonna be honest. It's not my fucking business that it doesn't go towards my degree. I want to take the damn classes, so I'm gonna take the damn classes. But yesterday I had a lot of stuff cleaned and all that stuff. I filled out my planner for next week. Like I got everything all filled in. I'm on track to finishing my leadership class next week, which is really awesome. I am thinking about doing some of the coursework today, since I've already did everything I was supposed to do this weekend yesterday. So I'm thinking about doing my leadership classes like today, because that stuff doesn't take very long. Like the assignments, they don't take very long. That's why I have a full week on just single days, because I can do the full week in a single day. So, or like in a single sitting even. So I'm thinking about doing week 15 and 16 today, and then using like all next week to do like oh my god, I have an appointment that I forgot to put in here. So my whole final assignment is to analyze a leader, and I reached out to one of my old professors. And I was like, hey, when would you want to do that? Tuesday the 7th at 2 p.m. Do I have anything else at that time? Thank God I don't. I did put myself to have to clean today, though, so that's going to kind of suck. Now, Zoom, SFC at 2 p.m. Here we go. Hopefully I will not be confused about that. So I am kind of thinking about doing these assignments today, because it's literally just a quick primer, which is pretty much just like usually 1 to 3 questions. Passing the torch of the discussion board. RRQ is usually like a 10 to 12 question quiz. And then we have our final paper. I don't know what this is. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 assignments left, not counting the final paper. The final paper is going to be its own monster. I honestly might do these today, and so that I can like just focus on the project or on the final paper, because I have to do the interview, because that's what that appointment is for, is I have to do an interview. I need to fucking get questions to ask her, because goddamn, I haven't done that yet. But maybe that makes sense, because then tomorrow on Monday I can make those questions instead of doing week 15. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So that's kind of it for this week. I will say that next week I do have a lot of stuff that I'm kind of excited to do because it's like I want to organize my Procreate brushes because ever since that new update where they have like the separate brush libraries, I want to figure out a way to like integrate it to where I can put some like my favorite brushes in one library. And I don't know, like I want to see if I can do that. I need to send out my April newsletter for Patreon. I need to make an outreach committee time poll Google form and send it to people because we are going to try to figure out a new time so that now that our secretary has stepped down, I need to work on Catholic and Cowgirl. I want to find a font for the comic. I want to make a title font. I want to redesign some characters and then I want to start storyboarding. Write or edit Wild Child Literature. So my organization, I don't know if I've made any updates on this, but I did decide to move meetings for Wild Child out to, I think, June 20th, mostly to give me time to write the literature because there's just so fucking much to write, and I could not reasonably write all of it and then format it on the website within that amount of time, especially because I am considering putting the website on a different hosting platform, which sucks. Or, like, for the moment, having stuff, like, in a Google Doc instead of on the website because the website is just so slow right now because of how it's set up and because there's just so many resources on it. So I am thinking about doing like a Google Doc thing where I just like everything is linked to a Google Doc and to an external source just so that it's like easier for me to not, you know what I mean? Like it's easier on the website in general. So, yippee. And then I want to do Wild Child updates. I need to schedule the monthly Discord call for Patreon. I want to make a live streaming schedule now that Instagram is letting me live stream. I need to keep up with Instagram posting, which has been going well. I have been posting on Instagram every day especially now that I have this multi-year backlog. It's been really nice getting to post that stuff online, my old art, and getting to reflect on my creations back when I was actively being abused. And then I want to finish setting up my Substack, which I want to start putting poetry over there and short stories and thoughts and not articles, but you know what I mean, like thoughts and stuff like that over on Substack. However, Patreon will be getting them first, so subscribe to my Patreon. I want to clean the apartment, take out the trash. I need to do my therapy homework. I need to organize the bathroom cabinet, work on The Painter's Daughter, pick and do a DIY of mine. It's like a Lego, a puzzle, making the beaded curtains I've been wanting to make for months. Something like that. Some kind of DIY. Fill out my planner, edit/schedule vlog, coursework, revamp my art Discord because ever since making the Wild Child Discord, I'm like, oh, my art Discord kind of sucks. So I do want to I want to revamp my art Discord to make it more fun and interactive. I put laundry and then lock in parentheses. Set up the litter bin, which I did yesterday. Send out April update, which is it's like the newsletter, but it's like a personal newsletter. So like my newsletter is in the cheaper, I think like $5 category, if I'm not mistaken. It might also be free. I don't remember, but I think it's actually in the $5 tier, my newsletter. So that's going to be like my ideas, the things that I'm working on, the things that I'm like planning on working on, and stuff that I'm thinking about in regards to my art. And then like the personal update is like the newsletter, but it's with me. It's with my life and what I'm doing and stuff like that. It's going to be like my monthly, like, hey guys, here's what I've been doing. Here's what I'm planning on doing. Here's some stuff that I'm thinking about right now and things like blah, blah. You know, it's going to be like that. And then I need to schedule more Patreon posts because I did not schedule them out very far because I did not want to at that time. So that was this week, and those are my plans for next week. We will have to tune in and see if I actually do all of those things because a lot of those are pretty big asks. But I am going to go. I feel like I am going to shit my pants. That has been a common theme the last few days because I've upped my fiber intake. Yippee. But if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like or leave a comment or subscribe or any of that stuff. I do post every Sunday. I was doing art videos at one point. However, I don't have enough art. Plus, like, with what I'm doing, with the stuff that I'm doing with my art over on Instagram, like, I can't really post my current up-to-date art videos here because that's supposed to be like a Patreon. But yeah, anyway, if you do like today's vlog, do all this stuff, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.